The organic dairy movement is fairly new in this part of the world. North of Seattle here, it's been less than 10 years. We have a fairly large land base for the size of the dairy, so we produce our own forages for the dairy. Grain is very expensive. When we went organic in 2007, that provided us a stable price that helped us stay viable versus being in the spot market, so to speak, where you don't know what the price is going to be.
I thought we should have went organic a long time ago. We didn't use commercial fertilizer. We pastured our cows anyway. We didn't have a lot of disease problems, mastitis and this and that. But that was scary because once you turn organic, if a cow did get mastitis, if it was really bad, you probably had to call a cow, or just, there's not a lot you can do.
Having trouble with pink eye?
Yeah, we're having a little trouble. You see that calf over there with stuff coming out of its eye. And I'm wondering what we should do and what needs to be done.
Well, pink eye's always a struggle whether you got conventional cows or organic cows. The most important thing is to take care of the comfort, so make sure you have pain medication in place, and then use something to keep the eye clean. And on an organic dairy, saline seems to work about the best.
You have to be a steward of the land, and you have to be mindful of what you're doing to your farm in order to be a dairy farmer, and that's true regardless of whether you're organic or conventional. There's practices on many conventional dairies that are the same as organic so far as how they spread manure on the grass instead of fertilizer and that sort of thing.
In organic production, you need an animal component, and we're able to build a close working relationship with Mesman's, and we get manure and grow feed for them, and that's a really good working relationship.
Besides the dairy cows, we have about 250 acres of grass, some in pasture, some just for grass for hay and silage, and then we have 4 fields in corn silage this year. Certainly organic corn silage is really a challenge. You fight the weeds a lot more.
When you just go around the corner, there's this beautiful field of corn. It's Roundup ready, they fertilize it, versus our field. And the corn, you can't use any, commercial pesticides, fertilizer, anything. So it's struggling right now. And Alan's having a hard time because he grew up in, where you put tons of fertilizer on and you'd sprayed it and so forth, and always had this perfect looking crop. And that's, your fellow neighbor farmer sees that and are judged by, and he still has, mentality is he wants this perfect looking crop, but it's not going to happen with organic corn.
It's harder to grow just because it starts as a seed. It has to come up through all the weeds. And that's one of the things with organic, which is kind of hard, is you can't get rid of those weeds as easy as a conventional farm. I know Ben goes out with the cultivator a lot. You have to go, I know they go like 4 times at least, just early on, just to get rid of all the weeds so the corn can come up and start growing. You'll have an organic field that has half of what a conventional field does, and that affects how long you can feed your cows in the winter. So if you don't have enough forages, you'll have to go buy some more.
Well, it's now the end of October, and it's been raining nearly every day now for the last couple of weeks, and so typically this time of year the cows come in. On an organic farm, the rules are that you're on pasture for a minimum of 120 days. We generally are around 180, 190 days, but it finally does come to an end every year. If you left cows out in the cold weather all winter long, you would certainly have a higher instance of things like pneumonia and respiratory problems and things like that. We don't put them out on the pasture anymore in this low tidal farmland because it's very wet, and they just would tear it up if we left them out over winter.